Lenny from Free Market Media Group. Like the intro said, the idea behind these videos is to help you rock your WordPress. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we all want to be rock stars. We have this dream. But in these tutorials, what I'm going to show you is how to be a WordPress or a blogging rock star. WordPress is one of the most amazing free resources that exists online today. I've built about 60 sites for clients using WordPress as the platform. And the great part is it integrates so seamlessly into any design done right. And then the great part is you basically have your own cockpit where you can manage the entire site really simply. So the idea with this video series is to help you as simply as possible use as many of the tools as possible. So over the course of the series, you're going to learn things like how to add your own themes, how to control and manipulate and what are widgets, setting up your blog so it works for you, adding images, adding a post, the differences between tags and keywords. We're going to talk about a dozen or more of the most essential plugins you need, and we're going to tell you what exactly plugins are. But the reason for this first video is just as a bit of an intro. So when you first log in to WordPress, you're taken to the dashboard. And so this is what you see upon first walking in. So let's take a look at what's here. On the left column are the links to various areas of your admin. Like I said, kind of your cockpit, your Kennedy Space Center, wherever you can control everything. So on the left, you have, if you look, dashboard, then updates. And updates is really cool because you'll get alerted when anything is out of date on your WordPress. It'll be a little red number next to that and let you know what needs to be updated. Then you have posts. And if you look a couple links down, you have pages. And real quick, the difference between posts and pages is pages, in my view, are a little more static. They're the pages that don't really change much on a website. Your about page, your services, testimonials, a contact page, here's what we do, here's a map to the store, any of those things. And I mean, they might update sometimes if you add new people, like who's on the team. You might update a page, but you rarely are going to make it work for you using WordPress. You will not add dozens and dozens and dozens of pages, which was the old way of thinking when adding a website. So the pages themselves are relatively few and remain relatively static. Now, what excites the search engines about WordPress and blogs in general, but WordPress just does this so elegantly, is when you're adding posts, it immediately alerts the search engines that there's new content. And that's one thing that Google and Yahoo and Bing and some of the other sites really like is new content. And new content is different from the updated page. You just add a new employee. New content is almost like a brand new news item. So while you might add your new employee to your team page, what you would do is write a blog post about that new employee. And that blog post is what the search engines will love. I've said it in past videos that it's kind of like when you push the update or the publish button in WordPress, it sends a little shiver up Google's spine. And I mean, it's really not an exaggeration. So that's a little difference between pages and posts real quick. But so let's continue down that left-hand menu. Media. This is where you can upload and control all of your different media items. All I really ever use here is images. And you can do audio, you can do video, but as you'll see later on in the series, there are ways to make a little more sense of that. So that's your media center. Next, we have links. And that's if you want to add links to other sites of yours, to friends' sites, to sites that your visitors would find of value. That's what you would use, add in the links area. Pages, again, very similar to posts, how it works, and we'll cover that in another video. And we already talked about the difference between pages and posts. Then next we have comments. Comments are great because it's with WordPress, with blogs in general, we see it everywhere, no matter almost where you go. With social media is the ability to comment. And having people comment and start conversation on your site, it's bringing them to you. Because the traditional wisdom is the longer you can get someone to stay, the more likely they are to investigate further and potentially buy your service or your products. That's why stores make the experience. Think of a bookstore with couches and chairs where you can sit and read, because the longer you stay in the bookstore, the more likely you are to buy a book. That's just the truth. So getting your website sticky, comments is a really good way to do that. Now, appearance, what this does is going to let you decide what theme you're going to be using. If you know code, and it's something we'll get into the advanced series, you can make changes in the code and in the actual templates themselves to change the page. You can also add and move around widgets, so you can control the look and feel of your sidebar by adding categories or a text field or a email capture or your archives, recent posts, recent comments, all kinds of things you can do there. And plugins will be next. And we'll get into a lot of the different plugins you can use, but plugins basically are little pieces of software that add more functionality to your WordPress. And if you look right here on the bottom right of the page, right there where I'm clicking, there have been over 100 million plugin downloads, WordPress plugin downloads. I mean, that's an extraordinary number. And the reason why there have been so many downloaded is because they add so much functionality and value to your website, and then to your visitors' experience as well. So that's a really good thing, and we'll get into much more detail about plugins. And then users. You would be the default user, but there could be other users. If you have multiple people writing on your blog or adding content, you could add them there. Tools is next. And with tools, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back to dashboard. But with tools, you can import from another blog, which is really nice. If you already have a Blogger blog or a WordPress.com, you can actually import everything. If you want to export everything, you can do that as well from here. And then the last link on the left is settings. And your settings is basically, this will be the next video, is how to actually set up your WordPress blog. And this is everything from your blog title and how it shows up, to a lot of bits and pieces about your user's experience, how they can read, what they can comment on, how it shows up, and we'll get into a lot more detail about that later. The last thing I want to talk about on your dashboard is, and this works on every page in your administration, is this drag and drop functionality. You can arrange your page. So it's by clicking and holding and dragging and moving, you can move items around so that they fall into the area where you want them. So it makes it just a really, really nice thing to do. So that's going to be it for your intro to your WordPress dashboard. So rock on, and we'll see you in the next video.